Hey guys, I know in my last video I introduced my car, the 2011 Audi S4. I thought before we go through making any more videos, I need to give you a little bit more insight on how I bought it and the reasons why I bought it. So here we go. Since I know there's a lot of places you can find reviews of cars on the internet and that information seems redundant, I'm going to try and skip us to why I bought the car, and we'll go into that afterwards, and we'll start with how I bought the car. I'm sure all of you like cars, dirt bikes, or something along those lines because that's why you're here. Now the thing is, with all those hobbies, they're very expensive. So you have to find a way to not pay for your hobbies, but make your hobbies pay you. I started out buying and selling cars after I ended buying and selling dirt bikes. I'm sure you'll see from the video title that I actually only have $10,000 invested into this car. Now, whenever I bought this car, it had 46,000 miles on it, and it was a 2011. How I was able to get it with only $10,000 invested was flipping cars. I started out 3 years ago, because it was whenever I started college, with a 2001 Chevy Duramax that I picked up for $8,500. Now what I did with this Duramax was I cleaned it, I completely gutted the interior, cleaned it all up, added like a radio to it, didn't spend much money on it at all, but I spent a lot of time making it so it was more presentable. Whenever I went to sell it, I had about $9,000 and $9,500 in it, and it ended up selling for just under $14,000. So with that, I took my profits and went and bought a Hummer H2. 2004 Hummer H2 with 88,000 miles. I got the Hummer for $13,000. I got a little bit more carried away with the upgrades, and I ended up spending several thousand on that one, including the cost of a transmission that I had to replace. Probably ended up around $17,000 into the Hummer. When I went to sell it, I ended up getting $21,000. If you're tracking the numbers, I don't actually have much money into the cars at all. And then I ended up getting this car. I actually paid for it $18,000. And one of the reasons I was able to get this car for $18,000 was I bought it salvaged. Most people look at salvage cars and think it's a terrible idea, and really, I think it's great value. Another bit of advice I want to give is cars and dirt bikes are depreciating assets. If you're not at the car that's your dream car, guys, and this happens a lot in high school and everything, don't be putting hundreds and thousands of dollars into upgrading and modifying that car. You're putting money into something that's depreciating, and not only is it depreciating, but the things that you're adding to it most likely aren't adding much value at all. One of the reasons I bought the S4 is its performance. I used to have a 2011 Camaro SS. I'm sure you can see that from my channel. That car was putting out well into the 400s as far as horsepower goes. And the power band on the Camaro was not near as fun to drive as this is. I have power almost anywhere. And the thing is, this car has 100 less horsepower. They weigh almost the same, but this car is just much more enjoyable to drive, which is one of the reasons I bought it. Another great thing about this car is the Quattro all-wheel drive system. Going to school in a snowy, bad weather place, you have to have a car that's able to get around. This is the first sports car or non-truck I've had that has 4 seats, which makes it much more usable. Up until this point, I used to buy cars. I used to have a winter car and a summer car. The summer car was always a sports car and couldn't be used in the winter at all. What I did is I tried to combine the two vehicles so that I have the best of both worlds without having that much money wrapped up in a vehicle. I've explained this before. The reason you don't want to have all your money wrapped up into two vehicles, the reason I switched to only having one is you don't want to have your money in depreciating assets. When you're young, you don't have a lot of money to throw around. So you have to be as wise as you can with what you have. Now this Audi is a great performing car for the money. However, there are some things that I wish I did have. This car is available in the 6-speed manual transmission and the automatic transmission. I ended up with the 6-speed manual. At first, I thought I'd enjoy it because I had a 6-speed manual Camaro. After owning it and having it as a daily driver, I really would prefer the automatic transmission. I have driven the automatic S4, and I find it to be much more entertaining to drive. Another nice thing about this car is it's subtle, yet it attracts attention. What's nice about the S4 is it not only is fast like the Camaro, but it handles probably better as far as cornering abilities. And this is not a dedicated sports car. This is a 4-door, everyday, could even be a family car. Now I would venture to say that the Audi S4 could be my favorite car I've ever owned, because this car really is good at doing it all. So guys, on that, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be trying to do weekly videos. In the comments, put suggestions of what you may want to see, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.